Hi, you know how you listen to a motivational speech, and even though you've heard it so many times, it just makes sense at that particular time to you. That's what happened to me. Um, I have always known that when it comes to podcast, I am not supposed to struggle because this is what I like to do. However, because of the whole algorithm, getting your audience, and all the other things that comes with it, I had been diluting myself in terms of what I say, how I say it, and also in terms of how it's being said. Now, I'm not saying that I would be careless with how I speak, but my truth is my truth, right? And also the fact is the fact. Also, I also know that I don't like snapping pictures, for example. And then because everybody thinks that a video podcast would be better, I started up doing video podcast. But then I struggle because I have to then set up a space, look a particular way. And that's not the reason why I wanted to start podcast. I wanted to start podcast because I like to journal, right? I used to write a lot, and then I felt like I grew out of writing because I haven't had time to sit down to write. And also because I didn't want to run a blog, a writing blog. I also generally think that people don't read as much again, if I'm being honest. So how else can I public journal, say what's on my mind, share my opinion? Podcast came to my mind. However, in the bid of doing a podcast that is um well known, acceptable, I dabbled into video podcast, but I've been struggling. Then I listened to Oprah. She said that some of you are struggling because you are in a lane that is not yours. You've left your lane to somebody else's lane, watching somebody else, and so you're struggling in that lane. And it's the ideology of a fish can swim so fast in water, but if you put the same fish to land, then you know that it will struggle. And that hit home to me. That's not the first time I'm hearing that, but it hit home to me because of how where I am right now. I'm struggling because a video podcast is not my thing. Audio podcast, it is. So I told myself today, the 3rd of August, would be a symbolic date where before I roll out any episode, I ask myself, is this what I want to do? What is this going to do? What's the motive behind it? What does it inspire? What does it talk about? Is this what you really want to talk about? Is it fun for you? If it's inspiring to you, like even if it's a fun topic, is it the topic you want to talk about or the topic the world wants to hear about? Yes, I know that you have to adapt your products or service to the audience, but sometimes you create a product the audience don't even know that they need, and then they would need it eventually. I mean, before we started flying airplane, I'm sure everybody would say, we can get everywhere by road. Why do you need to go so far that you fly? However, when that option opened, everybody realized that you could connect words and you could leave where you were to travel somewhere else, or where you had to travel somewhere else. So for me, it's okay even if it seems like, oh, there's no market for your product. I would create the market. There would be the market. I would create a service or a product that people would realize that there's a need for. And that's enough for me. As far as I wake up every day knowing that I put my heart into this, and I know that if somebody out there listens to it, it kind of makes sense to them, that's enough. Just like this episode, on a normal day, I would have thought to myself, oh, that's not a real episode. But it is real because if you're struggling where you are, this might be the reason. Can you take an inner look at yourself? Can you do like a stock count of whatever that you're doing? And ask yourself, am I doing this because that's what the world has conditioned me to do? Or this is what I set out to do before? If you struggle with something, maybe it's not it. Not to say that everything you do will come easy. No. We all do jobs that we not struggle, but we push hard to get results. There's a difference between not aligning with something, struggle, and struggle with an alignment for it to prosper. I would rather put my struggle or into what I'm aligned with for it to prosper than for me to struggle even with the alignment in the first place. So it's like I'm double struggling Because first I'm struggling to align, and then first and secondly I'm struggling to make it prosper. So yes, I think this is the real welcome to JustOlayinka Podcast, where we will be having unfiltered conversations. I really do hope that this podcast is one of the podcasts that you want to listen to in the morning on your way to work, at home chilling, before you go to bed. Just listening to a friend. That's the plan. Bye.